Hey guys, so I figured I would put together this video. I just saw Lindsay upload a video for incoming freshmen to high school because she's definitely experienced in that. So I figured I would kind of go along the same lines because I feel like I could have a lot to offer on this and do what to expect your freshman year of college. I did complete my freshman year at a university, and I dropped out of the university halfway through because I was really struggling. But throughout that freshman year, I did pick up on a lot of stuff that was really important, at least to what I noticed, because I did horrible my first semester, my fall semester, and then I really picked up my grades spring semester. And I was doing good my sophomore year. It was just there was a lot of personal issues going on with myself. I didn't yeah, it's just a lot to talk about. So yeah, I figured I would do a few reasons to be prepared for your freshman year of college. So yeah, these are just tips that I learned and stuff that I wish I knew going in my fall semester so I could have a higher GPA right now as I'm entering community college and then hopefully university in a few years. So number one, it is not high school. It is not a harder version of high school. It is not a more advanced version of high school. Just get that out of your mind now. It is not high school. It is so much different than high school. And you will see your first day how different it is. Yeah, you still go class to class. Not always, actually, because some classes, you only have on Mondays. Some classes you only have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, you seem like you have a lot more free time, but you really don't, if you really think about it. Number two, go to class. I don't care if your teacher says that you will not get graded on attendance or anything like that. There are a lot of colleges that will grade you on attendance, but there are a few teachers that will be like, attendance won't matter. You can show up if you want to. You can show up if you don't want to. No, go to class every day. The only days you skip is literally where you feel like you're about to die. That is the only days you skip. Never skip class. You will miss important information. Even if the teacher posts the lecture online or whatnot, you are going to miss something important the teacher says. And I will go over how you know what is important as well. But just don't skip class. It's the worst possible thing. I know it's early. I know you're going to have to get up at 6:30, if you have an 8 o'clock class kind of thing. Do not skip class. It's going to be your worst nightmare. Number three, learn to take notes effectively. It's not high school. Professors are a lot different in how they do notes for college classes. One thing my dad actually taught me, which I picked up on very fast, was if the teacher has it bolded, underlined, says it repeatedly, it's gonna be on your next test. Make sure you write that down. The whole reason they're reiterating that is to make sure you get it. It's a secret little note. It's like, the way I would compare it is, it's like finding a hidden Mickey in Disney World. You're finding that hidden note that the professor's trying to convey to you, that's going to be on the next test without the professor actually saying that to you. So learn to take notes effectively. Highlight what seems to be important, which is what the teacher reiterates. Don't just highlight everything. I know people do that just for fun. Highlight what is effective. And what is effective is when the teacher reiterates it once, twice, 3 times kind of thing, or if they have it bolded on the lecture. Going on with taking notes effectively, don't just copy what the professor has. If you just copy that, there's no point in studying that, because they put a lot of not so important information on that. If the professor says you don't need to copy this, don't copy it. They're giving you a hint, don't copy it. But make sure you do write down the effective stuff. Don't just write down one little pitty word throughout the whole entire class. Write down what you feel is important enough information for you to understand what they're trying to get the point across. If it's kind of just depends on your class. Number 4, take notes. Don't just sit in class and just no, take notes. You are going to need them, but take them effectively. Don't just write down everything they say. Write down what they say 3 times. Write down how to get to what they say 3 times. If they just say, if you're in chemistry and they just say ion 3 times. Make sure you write down what an ion is so you know. Don't just write down ion. Number 5, don't join anything until you are sure you can handle it. I will go over my last tip is how to study and how long you should study. So don't join anything until you really feel confident. That was a mistake I made going into my freshman year, was doing color guard, and it was a big mistake, I'm not gonna lie. Because yeah, I enjoyed it, but it screwed me over so bad because I was spending 15, 16 hours a week doing color guard stuff. You know, I would waste my whole entire Saturday at a game, and I'd spend 6 to 8 hours a week practicing during assigned practice, and then probably like another 2 or 3 hours during that week actually physically doing work on my own. So then I would only leave like what I had left for like, you know, studying and for, you know, free time and everything. So, you know, make sure you can handle it. Make sure you do have excess time. If you really figure out your study methods and you have an extra 15 hours or something, go join a club. Go make friends. Do something like that. I mean, I do have to say color guard is where I met my 2 best friends that I have today. Melissa, who I've talked about in this past weekend's video, and then Vanessa, I'm sure I've mentioned her once or twice. So, they're like, they're my 2 best friends, and I wouldn't have met them without color guard. So, you know, I'm not saying don't get involved, but don't get involved until you're ready, because I did make that a pretty big mistake. Number 6, don't drink until you are of legal age. You will get caught. Don't think just, oh yeah, you know, my brother went and drank and, you know, he never got caught. No, you are gonna get caught. It's stupid. It's risking, you know, university expulsion, you know. I mean, I've seen colleges where, you know, if you get 3 underage drinking tickets, you get expelled. Do you really want to risk that? I know for the program I was in, for all you nursing majors out there, the program I was in when I was at my old school, if you got 1 drinking ticket, you'd have a much, much lower chance of getting in than somebody that didn't have a drinking ticket. Just don't even risk it. It's not worth it. It really isn't. Number 7, if you go out to clubs or go to, you know, areas that are considered downtown, I know I had a downtown, I don't know if all colleges do have that, but if you have an area that is where like a lot of clubs are, a lot of parties are, go with friends. Do not go alone, because that just leads to possible rape. It's a bad environment for girls, at least. You know, boys, yeah, it's a little bit different, but I know I have a lot of girl followers, so that's why I'm reiterating this more for girls. Don't go alone. Go with a friend, and make sure you leave with the same friends. Do not let one of your friends be like, oh no, he's gonna walk me home. Never listen to that. No. Walk that friend home. Do not let them go with the guy they met at the party. It's another little side note. Never let a friend go to a party with you and then say she's going home with a guy. Don't do it. Number 8, always plan to get to class at least 10 minutes early. If your class starts at 8 in the morning and it takes you 10 minutes to walk there, you need to leave by 7:40, okay? Or if it takes you 15 minutes to drive there, you need to leave at 7:35. You want to be there 10 minutes early in case the professor starts a few minutes early, to make sure you get a good seat, make sure you get all your materials out. You don't want to be running in at the last second. Bad idea. Number 9, do not bring your cell phone, your laptop, your iPod, your iPad, anything that can distract you. Leave it at home. If you're living in a dorm, leave it in your dorm. If you're living in an apartment, leave it at your apartment. If you're living at home, leave it at home or leave it in your car. You know, don't, like, I know a lot of people around, you know, ages 18 to 20 have to have, if they're still with, like, living at home with their parents, they have to have their cell phones on them so parents can contact them. Leave it in the car. Lock it up in the glove compartment. Don't bring it to class. You will get distracted. You will miss stuff. Bad idea. Just don't do it. Number 10, Stock up on notebooks. Notebooks become your best friend. You don't want to be taking notes on your laptop because then you'll get distracted. You'll get on Facebook, you'll get on Twitter, all that fun stuff. You'll get really distracted really easily. You may say to yourself, oh, I won't get distracted. No, you will. You will. Trust me. I said that my freshman year in chemistry. No. You know, once I got to like the last like 6 weeks of class, you know, then I was like, crap, I better start studying. And trust me, it was not enough time to make it back. I would always leave myself in my dorm. Didn't work. Number 11, do not buy books until the first day of class. There are a lot of professors that say you need this book. You walk into class that morning, you have your books in hand. Yeah, you know, this is just a recommended book. You really don't need it. Just required to put a textbook. Then you're out how much money you spent, unless there's a possible refund. If you're buying them off Amazon, I highly doubt you'll get a refund. I've tried that before. It doesn't work, because that's exactly what I did. Going on with this, rent textbooks if you can. There's a lot of schools that are offering renting to textbooks. There's a really popular website called Sheg. I will post the link in the description box. It's a really good website. You can rent books for like, you know, under $30, which is really good for a lot of the textbooks that are like 120, 130, 140 bucks. Textbooks these days will cost you about that much for one textbook. I have one textbook already for one of my classes that's $200 and I think $60. So, my teacher said it was required, and then she sent an email, you know, 2.5 weeks later, oh yeah, it's really only recommended. You know, I really want you to get it, but it's really only recommended. So, don't buy your textbooks as soon as you get that textbook list. Don't do it. Wait until, even if you want to do it tax-free weekend, I would recommend probably renting them then and not buying them because you can't guarantee a refund. If you rent them, you're only paying a short fee out of pocket, and yeah, you won't get it back, but it's a smaller fee than if you buy it and you don't get a refund on it, or if you buy it and try to sell it back and you don't get as much. You know, just rent your textbooks if you can. I know a lot of textbooks these days come with like those stupid online access codes that cost like $100. So yeah, I would definitely recommend renting your textbooks. One thing I thought about instead of buying my $260 textbook is I'm going to rent it online for like 30 or 35 bucks, and I'm just going to go out and go buy the access code that's 100, and I'll save myself almost 100 bucks. So that's one recommendation. If you get one of those books with an access code, rent the textbook, go out and buy the access code. Access codes are available on the websites that the teacher is using it from, so do that. And number 12, I think I left off at 12. This is the study technique. For every credit hour you are taking, be prepared to study at least 1 hour for every credit hour. If you have a math class that's 4 credit hours, be prepared to study 4 hours for that class, at least twice a week. So, you know, about 8 hours. Be prepared to study that much for that class. If you have a class that's only 2 credits, you know, twice a week, be prepared to study for 4 hours. Go by credit hour and how many times you have the class a week. If you have the class 3 times a week, it's 3 credits. Be prepared to study for 9 hours that week for that class. You're gonna need to study. That is the biggest tip I can give you, is this is not high school where you can study for an hour, be done. You need to study a lot if you want to succeed in college. And then my final tip for you is enjoy it. It's tough, but it's fun, and you want to have fun with it. For most of you, it's your first time kind of like living on your own. For others of you, it's your first time, you know, being independent. For others of you, it's just another step to make you even more independent. So just, it's definitely, as everybody says, it is the best 4 years of your life. Obviously it wasn't for me, otherwise I'd still be at my school, but I mean, I still want to get my college degree, so put me aside, pretend that I've been in college for the past like year and a half and whatnot. So I really think if you follow all these tips, it will definitely help you out in the long run. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, let me know. If you did, let me know. If you like these kinds of videos, let me know. You know, give me ideas, blah, 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 blah. You've heard this all before. So I'm going to go ahead and go before I keep rambling on. I love you guys. Bye.